Previously on Follow the Leader.
You're not going to spend that one token you've got?
No, I'm going to hold on to it just in case.
Complicate things, Zach.
Listen.
Bring the pain.
Does anyone ever not want complications?
Not in this podcast.
Follow the leader. Complications.
It's like complications and entanglements.
So here's the thing.
Oh.
With that, Perry gets them to back down, and you're like, all right, everybody, let's go. You go to leave. Perry and the Black Raptors go to leave. Your guys are behind the Black Raptors, and they grab them.
You're making Davy very sad.
They're like, smack him over the head, knock him out, do the thing, and says, "All right, Honest, let's take you to Mr. Dragon."
Sorry, what did you call me?
We now return to your game, already in progress.
Oh, shit.
Come on.
No. That's not what I said. Counterproductive. Controls his emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, repeat what you just said to me.
Well, let's take you to Mr. Drayton.
No, before that. I understood that bit. That's what I was asking to happen.
Yeah.
Don't
all
you
right.
yeah me.
I love Davy.
Are you going to come? Or no?
I will come once you tell me again what you just called me and why you called me that. It's not what we're here for. I am not trying to become an unequivocal leader of a situation.
Theo looks deeply uncomfortable.
Well, that's good, my friend, because you're not in control of this situation. He pulls out a gun.
Oh, God.
And points it at Theo.
This isn't even my Oh! Okay. Listen. None of that. That is unnecessary. All of this is extremely unnecessary. Please leave them out of this.
Oh, man.
All right. Get out of this.
God. Does Theo bolt?
Davy, moves to go stand back in front of Theo.
I think you got to do that. And Theo just says, "Don't worry about me." And he's gonna bolt. And I will burn a token to utilize sneaky to and the fact I'm scrawny as well. That's not a strength. That's just part of my build. And I think I slip off to one side and literally dive between two bits of wall or corrugated steel or something. And manage to just get between them just as maybe the gun goes off.
Oh, he was threatening you. He wasn't going to shoot you.
Oh, well, fair enough.
He was threatening you to coerce Davy into coming with him.
I see.
No, yeah, he's not. He's
okay.
Also, I've got a name for this guy who is, I guess, Linwood's right-hand man.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Corollary Haversham.
Oh, that's good.
That's really good.
It's so bullshit. I love it.
I mean, I like that he's got a Bill Sykes accent going on right now. As the token English person on this podcast, I approve.
I can't spell, but that's okay. Google's got me covered.
Corollary Havisham. That's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So, I mean, the scene ends when you want it to end.
Oh, yeah. I'm the primary in this, aren't I? I don't leave. I'm purposely, like, make it look like I'm going for... And I'm aware that I need to try and find Minos and or Sol at this point. But I also don't want to lose track. So I'm going to, like, shadow this group from a distance.
That makes sense.
I think the scene is like...
You've
Davey,
gone from being...
If you're okay with it, Matt, going
yeah,
with
I was going to say, like, it can
like
just
Theo
now
following
be
it a
from,
short
like,
distance.
Yeah, like Theo from hiding, just watching as Davy goes, all right, and now I'll follow.
Great. Very good. And yeah, he takes you to... He's going to take you to Linwood.
All right, well, found one of the missing people.
Uh-huh.
Token spent.
I guess we can just, like, cut straight to Davy and Linwood. And shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Let's see. Let me scroll up. You know, it's definitely... I don't know if this is leaning too much into the weakness of, you know, like, Davy's, like, believing of his own words, and, you know, now trying to see, like, I guess, like, you know, like, as, like, a third marker for passionately believing my own rhetoric is, like, also watching it fall apart by just saying, like, this isn't what everyone was believing in, was actually something else entirely. Okay. Great. You know, so that could be a good place to start, is just Davy being brought before Linwood, and he's standing there straight as he can be, and, you know, like, posture rigid and shoulders thrown back, and does look very regal in a sense, but also is just like, I am a disappointed person, and you are the source of my disappointment.
I can't help but imagine Linwood, like, steepling his fingers.
Oh, yeah. Peak vizier
Well, he's got, like, a
mode.
long, narrow hook nose and greasy hair. He is like Snape meets Rasputin. It's fine.
Played by Paul Bettany. I think like
Yeah,
Paul
that's
Bettany and
right,
Han
yeah.
Solo kind of vibe.
Yeah, no, he's not got the long hook nose and stuff, because that's, like, anti-Semitic bullshit, so...
Okay, good point. But yeah, so, just Paul Bettany steepling his fingers, and, Davy being not quite the misbehaving student brought before a teacher, but trying to be the, I'm an adult here, and I think what you're doing is rude and disrespectful. I don't know if Dora wants to pick back up on their Linwood train.
Yeah, I
especially
kind of do.
if Zachary is going to be playing Bill Sykes in the background.
I can do that.
God, I'm just trying to think how he would approach this, because it's like, we've already got the Your Highness reveal, so what would Davy's, like, royal name be?
Oh, Jesus. No, that's something I haven't thought of.
Hamlet of Denmark.
Anastasia. Grandmama, it's me.
Anastasia.
Fuck, I didn't think about giving him a second name. What?
We'll just...
Google, what are some good prince names?
That's one way of doing it.
Now it's going to give me, like, William and Harry and other British things.
Look, I'm as mad about the fact that there's still a monarchy here as you are. I'm sorry, there's now a sniper outside my window for my anti-monarchist views. I'm sorry, I have to go.
He will be
It's all right.
missed.
When you get back, I'll have a name. A princely name generator. A royal posh name. Let's see what kind of bullshit fantasy name generators gives me.
I was going to say, you could always look at, like, some famous Hamlets and just nick one of their last names as Davy's first name.
That'd be fun.
My brain just went from Olivier to Tennant, and I was just kind of like, hold on. Graham Westwood. These are all so British. Humphrey Camden.
Oh,
I hate it. Maximus Evans. That's not a name.
Maximus.
He is not a Maximus.
It could be Andreas.
ooh.
Like Andreyes. Like Reyes, like King.
Mm. I like it.
It's not British.
I like
All
it.
British.
Andreas is good.
All right. Andreas of Elsinore.
I'm sorry. Why do you keep... What is that? What is that?
It's you, Your Highness.
No. Oh, it seems even worse when you're saying it. I'm not that. I'm just Davy. And I need you to call off all of this that is apparently you're doing. I'm here. I am safe. You can stop this.
I'm afraid I can't do that, Your Highness.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can, and you will. I've told you that I want to make negotiations as a positive step forward with the Black Raptors, with Soul. And here you are, trying to disrupt exactly that when I'm gone for 5 minutes.
Sorry, I'm trying to think of something suitably skeevy for him to say.
You know, when he says it like that, boss, we do sound like some bad folks.
You sound extremely like bad folks by what you're doing here. And I told you that when you went and disobeyed my request. And I am very displeased that this is how this is going.
Yeah.
That you can run around and Your Highness me left and right, but you can't seem to obey my requests to the letter. And if you seem to think whatever I am is a prince, then why won't you listen to me when I give you a simple instruction?
I've got a thing. I'm gonna ping my situation of the spirits.
Oh no.
Yes.
The lights flicker in more so than they normally do in the bow. Like they sort of flicker and dim, and then stay low for a moment. I think you hear a voice, Davy, just to you, which is, "You're more useful to him as a martyr. Be careful."
And he sort of like stops and pinches the bridge of his nose and then takes a deep breath, reins it in, straightens his posture again, and says, "Linwood, you've been very helpful and very kind to me over the last few years. I would like to know why that has suddenly changed."
He takes a deep breath and he says, "Sometimes tools are no longer useful. You have been a phenomenal tool, and I mean that in the kindest way. You were fantastic in the way that you gathered the resistance, in the way that you gathered your flock. And your flock is also a magnificent tool, but you have outgrown your usefulness to me, Your Highness."
Not to mention the Bloodhound's been sniffing around your heels for years now. It's a lot of trouble we don't need, really.
You wouldn't have that trouble if you didn't cause it. There's no need to do any of this because you're just making it more difficult for everyone in the long run.
No.
People, yes. People follow me because they also want to see the future that I am trying to promise them. And here you are, going against everything that I've been trying to establish down here.
You know, if you're someone who ain't a prince, you talk a lot like one.
For someone who seems to be subservient, you talk a lot.
I don't have any fealty to you, kid.
I don't want your fealty. I want... Respect would be nice. Fealty implies a level of devotion that I'm not here for. One person to another. Not a liege lord to his subjects, as you all seem to think. there is some sort of power imbalance here beyond the one that Linwood is creating for himself.
You're not the only one with a vision, Davy Jane.
I would like to use my strength of negotiator, and I will use my token.
All right.
In that my words are going to start inspiring some mobs and fanatics, and like other people are starting to like gather and listen. Like they're like, you know, everyone who had been sort of like fighting is now stopping, and they're like, ooh, there's a showdown going on. And you know, Davy's just being eloquent in as much as he can be, and you know, rallying people to be like, yeah, you know what, Davy Jane, we like that kid, or whatever. It might also, you know, lean more into the fact that he is being princely, but that's not what he's aiming for. But you know, in an attempt to get everyone that he can to stand down, and I am having a hard time with Roll20 on my tablet, but that's fine. Getting, you know, everyone to stand down and to like cool their fucking jets, you know?
Totally. So the general populace is taking heed to your words.
Yes.
What was once an isolated group of people like menacing you in an alley, like now there's witnesses. So what's up with Linwood? How does he?
Yeah, what is up with Linwood?
How does he spin
deal?
this?
How does he spin this? God, this kind of just puts him in a bad position in general, and we can't.
Yeah.
The negotiator token. Does that mean that he can't really spin it?
I think it's in as much as that Davy's attempting to direct the masses with the negotiator token, more than he is trying to direct Linwood. Because Linwood seems to have gotten all these people under his sway, and so Davy's trying to bring them back to his side, quote unquote, to, you know, calm down and just to recognize the absurdity of the situation that they're doing, and he's trying to have a good conversation going, in as much as that now the negotiator token is what is getting everyone to rally behind him once again and being like, yeah, you know, our vision, Davy's vision, mobs and fanatics.
I'm trying to think, because there's these 3 unconscious raptors there that could come to consciousness and kick something off. Like, that's there, and I'm trying to figure out...
Well, I think they're probably like a ways away, because Davy left that area to go to...
Okay. Well, I didn't know if they'd been brought along, because they got grabbed by members of that group, didn't they? They were knocked out. Or were they just left there?
I suppose that's up to interpretation. It was never stated in either way, so whichever works better can be the way.
I'm just going to grab a very distressed-sounding cat that won't be quiet. I'll be like 30 seconds, if that.
Okay.
It's okay.
All right, so the spirits appeared. What other situations can be... You know what hasn't come up as much is the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Maybe there's something there.
Yeah, maybe station security is on its way.
Station security is the above.
Oh, you're right. Never mind.
I mean, here's a question that the answer to which could affect how the outside affects this situation is: how does Linwood know about Davy?
Mm-hmm.
Is he from the place?
Is he from Elsinore also?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I had an answer to this when I was listening to the episodes, and then I forgot it. Like, okay, yeah, okay. I was going to say, like, was he someone that worked on orchestrating the downfall of Davy's family?
Mm-hmm.
Like, back in the palace?
And like, holding on to Davy as a, as like collateral to get back in at some point later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
because I think I know. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no! If you've got something, tell us.
I think I know how Linwood tries to spin it. he tries to go, our guiding voice is not who he claims to be.
Oh! Yeah! Sorry, please continue.
He's been hiding a secret identity from us all. Someone who hides himself thus, can he really be trusted?
And that's so good, because like one of the big divides is the haves and the have-nots. So dropping the fact that Davy's not only a fake, but is like royalty.
A big have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
how hypocritical is it for somebody who is royalty to come here and talk about equality?
You're gonna make Davy cry.
No.
It's fine.
Yeah, so I think that happens.
I don't think you're allowed to play that card when I myself have no idea what you're talking about.
Even now, he denies it.
Didn't I ask you to be quiet?
He winks.
A princely scoff.
Mr. Tar will be able to resolve this for us.
Well, sure. We can all stand here and wait for this Mr. Tar to show up. So long as they all stop fighting each other over useless, petty reasons. Because if you're trying to inspire them to go and save me, I'm standing right here. There's no more need for that. We can all sit down and have a civilized conversation.
All right. This has been a long scene. When is it?
Yeah, it has been. Also, it's been a lot of us pausing and thinking. But, you know, I think, like, Davy just finds a piece of rubble, sits down on top of it, and crosses his arms over his chest, and just goes, I'll wait. And that can be the end of scene.
All right.
I might just add on to that having heard this, because Theo's purposely been lurking nearby, Theo is like, oh no, and is going to take off to try and intercede, try and desperately find Minos or Sol before anyone else does, because, like, they see which way this is going.
Well, that's
No way
perfect.
It's a good thing that Sol's scene is next.
Because that's exactly what I was hoping for. I was hoping for Theo and Minos and Sol to all be in the same area together.
Converge?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Because you were dealing with, like, explosion stuff. Minos was following you and, like, has stopped, like, acting aggressive to you, and is probably like, we can get, like, you know, the two of us moving rubble off of somebody's house, or helping people out from a burning building and doing good person things.
Yeah, definitely.
For the moment, our feud set aside for the good of the many.
Yep. So that's got to be how Theo finds us.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think just sort of like literally does that sort of skidding around, because I feel like Theo has that kind of nervous energy that always makes it seem like they've come from somewhere where they've been running quickly, and in this case they literally have. Just sort of like slides into shot and like scrambles up. She's like, oh good, you're both here. Things are really bad.
You're telling us.
Uh-huh. So, Linwood has Davy Jane and knows that Davy Jane is the Lost Prince. And oh, Minos, Davy Jane is the Lost Prince. And they want you to get you to come and confirm that he is the Lost Prince. And that's going to be really bad, because if everyone knows that Davy is the Lost Prince, then people are going to riot and maybe they're going to kill him, because nobody wants to be the person that they've been listening to be a prince, because that's bad. Just sort of like plops down on like a piece of like debris to sit on and try and catch their breath a bit, because like I imagine like their lungs aren't super great either. So it's just sort of like trying to catch their breath.
Mix Delaney, would you like some water?
Do you have some?
Sol, do you have some water that I could borrow?
Sol just kind of like looks at Minos and is just like, do I look like I got water?
Minos pivots back to Theo and says, Mixtelini, I regret to inform you that I do not have water.
It's okay. It's okay. So, what do we do?
Well.
I like both of them saying that at once.
You're both people of action. It is my duly appointed mission to locate the Prince of Elsinore.
Well, it's my duly appointed mission to make sure that Linwood Drayton can't breathe anymore, so...
I do not believe these missions are in conflict.
Well then, Tin Man, it looks like we're in agreement on something.
Yay.
Minos holds out his hand.
She looks at it for a moment, and then she accepts it.
He shakes her hand.
Alright.
There is too much noise happening tonight. We should go and calm them down.
Sounds like a plan.
And he is still limping, and he limps. He directs, he says, show us.
Okay. And yeah, looking very unsure, Theo starts leading them back and will take them through through the secret paths, so they can avoid all the people swarming around looking for Minos.
All right, sounds good.
I'll burn my other token to make sure that nothing comes of that.
All right.
So I think we forgot last scene to do the reflection bit.
Oh, right. I filled up. Puppies.
What one did you fill up?
I passionately believe my own rhetoric.
Okay. Is that a weakness, yeah?
Yes.
When you mark the third box against a weakness, choose one. Add a new strength that represents your increased understanding and control of that weakness. Keep it as a weakness as well. It is now a double-edged sword. You can rewrite the weakness as a strength representing your mastery of that weakness. Erase the weakness and gain a new one to replace it. Or keep the weakness as it is and gain another strength or weakness of your choice. Your character has developed, but the weakness still has a hold on them.
I will probably find a way to add a strength, I guess, or I don't know if it should be a weakness. It's one of those, I guess, in as much as this one becomes a double-edged sword, because, Davy is now... He's always had this expectation that people would listen to him, but in some cases it's, well, no, you should listen to me. And he is, trying not to sound like a commander or a prince in that respect. But there's some way that this now shifts into something along those lines where it's, expectations of what he's saying and what he's asking of people, and believing them in as much as, someone who is used to being listened to and being respected believes the weight behind his words should have, and in some cases they don't have them, the same weight that he's expecting so much. So I don't really know how to phrase that yet. That is the idea.
I think for our scene, I definitely want to ping the relationship with Minos, which is my third box, or my third check next to that relationship, which means we get to rewrite it. Yeah.
On that, discuss how the relationship has changed, what has happened to make it different, rewrite the relationship to reflect where your character sees it now. This discussion helps you explore what's changed. You gain a new strength or weakness as well, and you erase all the marks against the relationship, so it sort of resets.
Okay. So I think there's a grudging respect there now. Like, Minos is willing to help her people and isn't going to interfere with her doing a murder on Linwood. So...
Doing a murder.
Moyeda. And Moyeda must foul.
Yeah, that sounds cool. You have 3 marks on mine. I only have 2 marks on mine with you. And I don't know if I missed one at some point or if that's just how that works.
That's just how that works, because your relationship with me is different than my relationship with you.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah, like I've been like tracking Theo and Davy's relationship on mine, but admittedly, my relationship with Theo has more to do with my followers, which I guess I should be pinging not as much, because I think like only like once that happened with Linwood, but otherwise Theo hasn't been interacting too much with them. But Theo's perception of Davy has been shifting dramatically over this last afternoon.
Yeah, no kidding.
Trying to decide what my new strength or weakness is.
Do we have to pull from the list, or do we just make up our own?
I think you can make your own.
Okay.
That's the It doesn't say from the list in the book.
Yeah, I like this. You need to be loved and admired. Oh my god.
Lots of questions.
I guess my strength can now shift into Prince. Does that count as a strength?
Well, if you wear the color purple.
No. But it's going to be a strength based on the weakness.
I'm going to take the weakness. My gang's loyalties are split because, like, now the gang is wanting to attack the resistance because the resistance attacked them, and that's going to be hard to wrangle.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be a weakness I take.
Cool. Yeah, no kidding. It's going to be rough. Should I flag I want to help everyone again?
I don't think it caused trouble for you this particular scene, though.
No, I don't think so. All right, we're screaming towards a conclusion here.
Yeah.
And it's Minos' scene to frame.
It's my scene. All right. So what is the room, the place where Davy and the flock and Linwood are at?
Are we still in Soul's territory right now?
Yeah, I just kind of imagined us just sitting outside in the middle of Soul's territory. Yeah, I don't think they just hold up in a building or anything like that. I don't know how close Linwood was to the monkey's uncle when Theo and Davy were still inside. Because it definitely sounded like we had left and then we had to go a bit of a distance in order to reach Linwood, who was running around with a megaphone and just being a dick. And so it wasn't necessarily like, well, then let's go inside and have a drink while we wait, or let's just go invade some random building. So Davy was just, I will sit down right here where we are standing in the middle of a courtyard or a walkway or something, and I will wait patiently because I am a patient man.
Okay. So we're kind of just in the street. In that case, where does Theo's secret tunnel take us out at?
I think it's not going to be right with it because I don't want it to be like too OP, as it were. But I think we're able to get sort of within decent eye line. But by all means, complicate that because I have no tokens to spend.
Ooh, what complicates that?
Either between someone is there waiting, or they make noise and someone notices them, or Linwood spots them coming. That
would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minos is certainly not quiet at the moment.
No.
So I think we get a welcoming speech from Linwood Drayton as we arrive on the scene.
Oh, jeez.
Dora, as Linwood sees us, what's his?
Yeah, sorry, I'm thinking.
He sees Minos. Behind Minos is Soul, who's ready to rumble. Behind Soul is Theo.
I think he just focuses on Minos first and is just like, "Ah, Mr. Tar, it's a pleasure as always."
Mr. Drayton, I have heard that you lied to me.
I would never do such a thing, Mr. Tar.
You said that you did not know where the orphan prince was. And now you do.
Situations change. Now that I know, I'm telling you that your missing prince is right here. And he gestures widely towards Davy.
Yeah, Minos looks at Davy.
Davy looks at Minos.
Hello. My name is Minos Tar. I have been appointed by the Kingdom of Elsinore to find their missing prince.
All right. The Kingdom of Elsinore fell a long time ago.
Yes. And then things happened.
What good is a missing prince to a fallen kingdom?
Minos looks down. You don't know.
That's too philosophical.
I have been appointed to find the missing prince.
The rumors are that you have found him.
I think the crowd kind of hisses at that because, it's reminding them of the fact that Davy may not be who he says he is.
Mm-hmm. Minos looks at the people and says, "It is my duly appointed duty to find and protect the lost Prince of Elsinore." And he's going to walk up to Davy, and he's going to pull the picture out of his pocket. He's going to hold it up to Davy's face.
God, that's so good.
And he's going to look at it, and he's going to look Davy in the eye. What's Davy look like?
What is he doing, or what does he look like as a person?
Well, what is he doing? What's his...
I think he's been kind of sitting there very tense and is trying to look in control of the situation, but is obviously very displeased and rather upset with the way that it's going. But he is sitting with very good posture and is just watching Minos. And so whenever Minos looks him directly in the eye, he looks directly back. And just holds that eye contact, but has no expression on his face.
Minos, his brow furrows, and he puts the picture back in his pocket. He says, "Mr. Jane, I am sorry for the misunderstanding. I don't believe you are the missing prince."
Linwood just kind of not sneers, but there's just this look of disgust on his face, and he lunges forward and is just he is the prince. He is.
All right, Linwood.
Is the signet ring still outside of Davy's shirt?
Yeah, he's just left it out.
I think Linwood goes in to snatch it.
Minos grabs him and lifts him up into the air. "Mr. Drayton, how would you know?"
I think Sol approaches and is just she probably retrieved her knife at some point and is just, kind of doing, flipping her knife, doing knife tricks. And it's just yeah, that's a good question, isn't it? And I want to ping my weakness, paranoid and vengeful, because Sol is just going to attack him while he's in the air.
Oh boy.
She's just going to go for a knife in the gut.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Also because, I think at the same time, Davy just stands up very quickly and is just well, don't do that! Trying to stop her, but not actively moving, just kind of, shouts at her.
And obviously she just ignores him.
Yeah.
Does Minos try to stop her?
He's gotta, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think he holds his hand out, and the knife goes through it. So she stabs him in the hand. He's a robot. He's fine. And he says, "Miss Hawk, wait." And he puts Linwood on the ground, on his feet, and he says, "Mr. Drayton, if you'd like, you can run."
Oh, very good. Very good.
Is that it?
I think
Is that what we end on?
that's good.
Yeah,
That's
does he? I think he runs, right? He's got to run.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like, is that the last shot of the movie?
It could be. We could have like an epilogue.
Yeah.
But I think that's the climax. That's the now in the denouement.
Mm-hmm. It's good shit.
Yo.
So I guess he disappears, vanishes into the night. No one's seen him. Just maybe it's because Hawk found him,
or maybe he got out of the space station, got off the station. Who knows?
Who knows? Are there epilogue rules for this game?
I don't think so. I think the idea is because it can be done as like a campaign, like long form. So, no, there's nothing really to suggest like a way to do a conclusion.
Well, we can just grab it from like Fiasco or
I mean, Firebrands.
Like Follow, Fire, yeah.
Just
go around, frame one last scene.
Yeah,
that sounds cool.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
I framed the last active scene, so I'll go last on the epilogue.
Okay.
Does anyone want to go first on this? Because I can't think of something right this second. Do we want to?
It can be like, time passes. We get our last shots and knowledge of what these folks get up to in the time after.
I think it's a couple of weeks later, and I think Saul goes to Minos's apartment and is just like, Tin Man.
Minos looks up from the chair that he's building. Ms. Hawk.
Oh my god, he's replacing that chair that got broke. Oh my god, Zach.
Calling it all back.
Good.
Are you
so
at the old
good.
lady's house and she's just standing there, like, approving?
It could be. It's either I'm building it in my apartment or I'm bringing it to her house.
It's good either way.
So good. Holy crap.
I love it.
I love this robot man.
And I think Saul's just like, you ever want to get a drink? I think you know where to find me.
Ms. Hawk, I regret to inform you that my internal combustion reactor does not process alcoholic beverages correctly. But if you would ever like to get something to eat, I can process that.
She just nods and turns around and walks away.
He calls after, do you require assistance with the rebuilding?
I wouldn't turn it down.
I'll be along shortly. And then he continues to deliver his chair.
Yep, and I think that's Saul's epilogue.
I'm that vine of Lin-Manuel Miranda right now, which is like, come on, brain, think of something. Come on, brain, be so smart.
Yeah, like, Davy has to have a conclusion with Theo and with Minos.
Well, if you we could spin those together. You need to have a talk with both of them. Dave, how is Theo's finding things for people, junk crafting things for people business, going in the wake of this massive riot war? I think people need a lot of things these days.
Yeah. I imagine they kind of had some orders in, as it were, or like they've been trying to fix things for people, and maybe in the wake of that whole business happening that people are sort of overlooking stuff that maybe used to stop them from asking, and so they've been busy. And so business is thriving, I suppose, as much as it can.
Maybe Minos delivers something to Davy, to Theo's shop at the same time that Davy arrives for his own reasons.
Yeah, works for me.
All in the same spot.
Sure. Just get it all at once. Where are we meeting?
If this is like Theo's place, which is the crappy little hole in the wall thing, which is literally like probably the size, like is literally maybe like double the width of a pair of bunk beds. Like it's literally that kind of big. And I think like during the day, like the bottom bunk can flip against one side so the workbench can be pulled down. There isn't enough room in there for both to be down at the same time.
That's what it's like living as a student. Cool. So we're probably outside of it. I don't think all of us could fit in it.
I like the idea of them just like scooting in close. They're okay. Oh, hi.
Yeah, no. When like if like the two of you sort of bump into each other outside, like Theo will like pop out when they hear the voices.
Mr. Jane, Mick Delaney. Mr. Palmer sends his regards. Mr. Lucky. Davies. That's the word. Mm-hmm. There's so many. Palmer Lucky is a different person. Mr. Davies sends his regards and this week's shipment.
Ooh. Like, so it takes the box and immediately sort of opens it and realizes maybe they shouldn't do that right now. Like, pops the lid back down and like slides it into the.
Ancient artifacts from a hidden temple.
As if I would have them in my possession.
Brian was so disappointed. But yeah, and just like slides that into the like underneath the workbench. Thank you, Minos.
Of course.
Davy, what brings you this way? And I feel like Theo has been avoiding Davy Jane in the past 2 weeks.
Probably. Davy's just, well, I wanted to see how you were doing after everything. And, you know, properly thank you for your assistance in the situation.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Been busy. Jerks a thumb over the shoulder. But...
yeah, it's...
Mick Delaney is very good at the things that they do.
Mm-hmm. I know.
They start blushing. Oh, the blushing intensifies.
I just... That's really all. It's just, thank you. And I'm glad you're doing well. I mean, now that Linwood is gone, you can actually stop by to say hi once in a while. You know that, right?
Sure. Thank you.
Mr. Jane, would you like to know Mick Delaney's favorite food?
Theo's eyes just go, like, super big.
Davy's eyebrows go up, and then he gives a little smile to Theo, and he goes, I would like that, actually. Do tell.
I will collate the recipe information that I have and deliver it to you shortly.
Thank you.
I don't know if Davy Jane can hear this, but I imagine Minos with, like, robot senses hears, like, this faint whine of distress that's too high-pitched for human ears coming out of Theo at this exchange.
Minos smiles at Theo and turns to walk away.
Oh my god! What an enabler. Oh.
Hold on. Minos, a moment.
Yes, Mr. Jane.
And he, is just kind of like, I'll be right back, Theo. And, like, heads over back to Minos and just kind of stands there awkwardly for a moment and says, about all that prince business.
Yes.
What are you...
It is my duly appointed duty to find and protect the missing prince.
Yes. And that was all.
I don't understand.
There was the question of... It has nothing to do with putting the missing prince back on the throne. Does it?
Perhaps it did. I took a few hits to the head that night. It's possible that some of my programming became misaligned.
Well... You are welcome, of course, to assist in the unification of the neighborhoods. Once I, manage to convince Soul that we can be trusted after everything, and kind of making sure that the people who I can trust are trustworthy, and, that whole sort of business. But you're welcome to stay and help.
Of course.
And if you need...
It is my duty to find and protect the missing prince.
Thank you.
Minos puts his hand on Davy's shoulder and looks like he's going to say something, and then pats Davy on the shoulder and then turns around again.
It's a very heavy pat, and he's like, oh. Okay. And then he just kind of looks back over at Theo and gives Theo a little thumbs up.
Theo, who was trying not to hyperventilate, returns the thumbs up.
We'll see about dinner at some point.
Yeah.
And if it's all right, I have one last shot for Minos.
Yes.
Is that Minos gets home, and he reaches into his pocket, and he pulls out the picture of the missing prince, and the baby picture, and his eyes kind of flicker in the robot way, and then he turns and opens a drawer, puts it in the drawer, and shuts it.
Oh.
And then he walks outside, and there's the shot is just a still shot on the light filtering in to his apartment, and he just says, "Hello, do you need assistance with something?"
He's good, robot man.
He's good robot man.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah!
Dig it.
All right, and that's me. That's me taken care of. Is that the game?
That sounds like a good game.
Yeah,
Did we do the game?
Did we do the game?
Did we
win the
game?
game?
Did we win?
I think
we win.
If the purpose of the game is to come together and tell a fun story, I think we did.
Wonderful.
We united our storylines just like we united the neighborhoods.
Very good.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shall we do an outro?
Yeah. I've been Dora. You can find me on Twitter at HarpyDora. You can find the games that I've written at harpydora.itch.io, and you can find the podcast at FTLcast on Twitter and Tumblr, and at patreon.com/FTLcast.
I'm Zachary Frederickson. You can find me on Twitter at ObfuscatingGod. You can find the podcast I used to run at Roll Dice and Cry. And you can at me with all of your
love
questions.
for the big robot man.
Mm-hmm.
Big robot man. Yes, at me about anything you want to talk about. About this game. Cut that out. Have a great day.
Just at me.
Yeah, just at me.
I continue to be Jade, and you can still find me at Jade Oxford Rose on Twitter. And you can see me play D&D Monday nights and run the Sprawl on alternate Friday nights over at twitch.tv/naturalruckus. I tweet about it a lot when we're going live, so hey, if you find yourself free at that time of day on a Monday or a Friday, come check it out.
And my name is Mab. You can find me on Twitter at Little Lady Mab, unless I get stuck back in Twitter jail. You can find my game dev Twitter at Sunshine Paladin. And I'll be around. That was very... I don't know what that was. Let's go clap. We're all loopy and tired.
The energy in this room is incredible.
That strange mix of delirium and exhaustion.
Yeah. It's been a long day.
Hi, it's Dora, and I just wanted to thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed us, please consider leaving a rating on iTunes, telling your friends about us, or tweeting about our show using the FTLcast hashtag. No, seriously, we crave the validation and it helps us out. Your support really means a lot. Thanks again!